Okay. Show me.
Hi there guys, welcome back to the Dutch CC channel. Thank you very much for tuning in for a review, a quick look at the content of this here bag. Yeah, it's very unassuming. It is from iFlights, as you can see here. And you've seen the title of the video. This bag contains a new version of their Freestyle frame, or rather one of their Freestyle frame, the XL5. Now you might say, well, wait a minute, XL5, I know the XL5, it's been around for years, right? Yeah, you'd be correct, but this is a new version, so I wanted to check it out. And I have to add to that this is my first iFlight Freestyle frame. So I haven't had the version 3, 2 and 1 of this frame. I can't compare them to those. However, this review is also the start of a mini project of mine. You might have come across their Nazgul5. I came across it a couple of days ago at Banggood. And that is an entry-level, low-cost freestyle RTF quadcopter. Right? It's actually really competitively priced. I'll build this quadcopter almost the same, well, 95% the same as that Nazgul5, which isn't available yet. Right? So yeah, basically I'll be able to review that quadcopter before it's being shipped out. Excellent. So again, in this video I'm going to review the content of this here bag. So let's take a look at what we actually get for our money. Oh, by the way, it's not in a fancy box as you can see, but also there is a link to it in the description as always. It is pretty low priced. It's well, it's an entry level maybe. The first impression is, by the way, that it feels very well machined, which is nice. And also, yeah, 4 arms. And what you will see in the rest of this video is that this is a very conventional style of freestyle frame. But again, you'll see that once I have it built. Okay, so we got 4 arms with motor protectors, as you can see. And these are 5mm thick. And I like that because, well, the modern quadcopter arms are very narrow as well. I like that. That helps in mitigating air resistance. And I'm not sure if you'll be, you should be able to see that, but they have a, well, a 3-step way of mounting the arms. So one screw will go through here, one through here, and then there's a slot over here. This slot will actually clamp onto the stick screws. So yeah, we'll see that more clearly once I got the quadcopter built. Also, you do not get a spare arm, as you can tell. You can order from the link in the description this frame with 2 spare arms. But again, the base price of this frame is very low. So yeah, I'm not surprised by it not having a spare arm. Then we have ourselves a base plate with press nuts already in place. I hope you'll be able to see that. Black press nuts already in place. Okay, this is a 2mm plate. And we've got a brace for the bottom of our frame. This will go onto the bottom. And we've got a top deck. And yeah, no surprises so far, right? This again is very conventional. We've got ourselves 2 carbon fiber camera mounting plates. These are probably 1.5mm thick. To be honest, I would have preferred TPU printed mounts for the camera, but this will work out just fine as well. And we've got aluminium standoffs in 2 lengths. We'll see how that all goes together. And we've got a bunch of screws to screw our frame together. And that is everything we get. Is that correct? I was kinda expecting battery straps and a battery anti-slip mat for the top. Maybe this is because I am an early adopter. I ordered this from a first pre-ordering batch. And the product page does say that you get straps, so I assume that if you order this frame from a normal production run, you will get at least one strap. The product page says 2 straps, I think, and a battery anti-slip mat. Yeah, I do assume you'll get that. Okay, so what I'll do now is I'll build the quadcopter off screen, and then I'll come back to you with my findings on the build, how everything fits together and such. So, here we go. And there we go. We have ourselves a quadcopter frame from iFlight. And again, yeah, this is my first XL5, and so far I'm pleased with what I received. Everything is cut well. There are no burrs or anything on the arms. Everything is nicely chamfered. The chamfers aren't very pronounced. You will not be able to see them in the video probably, but you will definitely not cut yourself on the frame. You don't have to break out the sanding paper. Everything is ready to go and build. Also, it was very clean. I haven't cleaned my hands afterwards. There was no carbon dust anywhere on the frame, so that's all very nice. And let me see. Yeah, the first thing you might wonder is, can you build this frame with the arms below the bottom plate? As you can hopefully see, the arms are now on top of this bottom plate, right? So this basically costs you some room in the frame. And yes, you can definitely build it the other way around with the arms at the bottom of this bottom plate. However, you would need 4 extra standoffs. As you can tell, you've got short standoffs and long standoffs, and this only works with the arms above the bottom plate. Just so you know. Also, I wouldn't consider this a lowrider frame. There's definitely a lot of room in the frame. There should be more than enough room for 3 layers. So maybe an all-in-one ESC, and then your flight controller, and then a VTX, for instance. And after that you've got room at the rear and maybe a little bit behind your camera. So yeah, there's more than enough room in this frame. Even though it's pretty narrow. Speaking of, can this frame actually accommodate a full-size camera? No, that won't fly. I've got a full-size camera over here, and maybe to you it might seem like that would fit, but it doesn't fit between those camera mounting plates over here. So yeah, this frame is definitely designed for a micro camera, which is fine. Micro cameras suffice these days, so I will be using I'm not sure which, probably a Runcam camera. And yes, I know that iFlight always uses Cadex cameras, I think. But well, I've got some Runcam cameras in the used parts bin, so I'll use that. And okay, so next thing. They do supply these shorter screws for your stack. Obviously those won't go through your entire stack, but in most cases, at least the iFlight stacks come with their own screws, so that's okay. And as you can hopefully also see that I have them screwed into their 30.5 by 30.5 pattern over here, so full-size stack. However, the frame also accommodates 20 by 20 stacks. One other observation is that the arms basically are connected to the stack. The screws that run through your stack go through the arms as well. Now in the past that would have been a no-no kind of, because the vibrations from your motors would be transferred into the stack. However, with modern stacks all being vibration dampened with silicone washers and stuff, I don't think this is a huge problem. Yeah, I probably would have preferred the arms to not intersect with the stack, but again, I don't foresee any problems with this. Alright, as you can see, the top deck has nice grooves for your battery strap. I like that. I really despise having my battery strap fall out all the time. Some frames don't have any accommodations for your strap, so this is nice to see. Also, and I'm not sure if you'll be able to see that, but there is a hole pattern over here, 20 by 20. You could opt to hang some of your electronics from the top deck, maybe a VTX. Most people won't, but well, you have that option. And also you've got grooves over here and over here and over here. What are those for? Well, I'm not sure if that's the intended use, but you could opt to run your battery sideways, toilet tank style. Some people like that for a different weight distribution. So in that case you'd run your battery strap from this groove to this groove, or maybe this groove, right? So yeah, it's nice to see that the frame actually offers that option. Whether you want to use it or not, you at least have the option, and maybe you want to experiment with that. It's always nice to try new things, right? So, okay, the build process was pretty straightforward. Everything fits well together. One thing, if you are left with screws protruding out of these press nuts over here, these four corners, you've actually used the wrong screw. If these protrude, these screws, you've used the screws that were meant to go into these uprights, to these risers from the bottom. So there are semi-long screws that run into the risers from here, here and here. And yeah, those are ever so slightly longer than these ones, maybe a millimeter or so. So again, if you build your frame and you end up having these screws poke out of these press nuts, then you've gone about that the wrong way around. Pretty simple. And if these fit, then basically there's nothing else that can go wrong in the build. So that's nice. Now, one last thing, and that's not really a part of the review, but like I said before, I will be building this quadcopter like the iFlight Nazgul5. And how am I going to do that? Well, actually, I've got some more stuff over here. I've got 5 Xing motors, as you can see, and these are the exact same as they'll use on their Nazgul5. And yeah, I always order at least one spare motor. And I've got an F4 stack as well. Yeah, an F4, and these are 4S motors as well. So check out the link in the description to the Nazgul5 RTF quadcopter. Again, that quadcopter is more or less the same as the one I will be building here. And yes, my FPV camera will be different and my VTX. And that's basically everything that's different than what I will be building. So besides this review, I will have a flight impression of this iFlight XL5 in Nazgul5 configuration in a very short future. So be on the lookout for that. I hope this review helped you out. If you are left with questions, don't hesitate to ask me in the comment section below. Catch you on the next video. Bye bye.